So this will be a quick walkthrough of how to construct a ProForma statement based on this Excel spreadsheet that I have in front of me. First thing you'll want to do is you'll want to select the financials of the company that you're wanting to analyze, and you'll kind of build the ProForma from there. What I like to do is between each year is to leave a space, because that'll help me as far as working to know a specific percentage that I'm trying to build to help me produce projections that are a few years out. So that'll help me to average it here at the bottom, and then that will help us to construct a couple of years out of financial statements. So let's get started. For how you want to project for a couple of years, this method is not real scientific, but it makes sense, and as analysts, when we look at things of this nature, it's just a matter of what makes sense to us. So I'm going to conduct ProFormas going out forward for revenues and cost of revenues. So first thing I do is that I'm going to look at the difference between 2009 and 2010 in terms of growth. So for percentage of differences, I'm going to take 2010's revenues, subtract 2009's revenues, and then I'm going to divide all of that by 2009's revenue to know how much growth I saw from the prior year, which is going to be 24%. I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste the formula in each of these so I can see what the percentage of growth in revenue has been for each of these years. See, in 2010 to 2011, the growth is 23%. From 2011 to 2012, actually had a negative growth and lost about 1.22%. On this one here, you saw also lost a growth of negative 1.19%. You saw that revenues dropped 2012 to 2013. So this doesn't seem good and kind of struggling with that. So we do the same thing for cost of goods sold, and I'm actually just going to use this little Excel spreadsheet cheat sheet and just bring that down one, and you see cost of goods sold dropped by 2.79% from 2009 to 2010. Same thing with 2010 to 2011, actually grew, dropped, and then grew again. Now, in cost of goods sold, obviously the percentage increasing is a bad thing because it shows that our expenses went up. So here's what I'm going to do to find an average growth for all of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find an average for these. So there's number 4 of them. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I use the average formula, copy that over, and I have an average is about 11% per year over the last 5 years. Do the same thing for that. And actually my growth rate is actually 4 of numbers that I'm using here. So, but I have 5 years of financials. So those are my average gross for both of those. So the next thing I'm going to do is going to come over here, and I'm going to take the last year's revenue times 1 last year's revenue times 1 plus the current year, or the current growth rate that I just determined there based off of those averages. That's going to give me my 2014 projections, and I can actually do that all the way out for the next 3 years. So we go to 2015. It's actually going to be prior year's projections times, in parentheses, 1 plus what the growth rate is, which again will give me the growth that I need. And actually I need to go in here and adjust the type of formatting I was using there. So just make sure that's correct there as well. So otherwise I'm going to go back in there and going to find that I get a bunch of weird things because it's not set up on the correct formatting. I need the accounting formatting. So you see there 65,000 growth from there. Bring that down. Shows COGS is 23,000. Same thing. I'll just carry that one over there. Oh, that's not right. Oh, I see what happened there. Sometimes those Excel formulas can be kind of funny that way. So I actually need to do a lock on that percentage, which you can do that by putting the $ in between the K. That's the other thing that with Excel that you have to keep in mind. If something doesn't make any sense, always go back in and double check it. But 72,000 seems very reasonable in terms of the growth that we're seeing there, as does the 27,000 growth there. So, and that's just an example of what you would do as far as producing a pro forma would be concerned. And then the bottom line in there is your gross profit. And if you can see here, that can give me a pro forma projection of what my gross profit would have been had I just averaged out those last 4 years. So in 2016, I'd say that my gross profit would be around 44,854. So if we were using this for Intel Corporation for projected gross profit in the future. So that's just an example of what I'm looking for on specific case studies, but that'll give you a good starting point as far as being able to know what do I need to use to start projecting for ProForma. So there's an example for you. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I hope this video was helpful.